So hey guys, guess what? It's an art topic video! I know, it's amazing, it's random. What? Okay, so it's really funny. So I originally did this as a thank you speed paint for my patrons. If you guys don't know, little chill here. For my, I believe, $5 patrons and up, you get a limited speed paint that isn't public on my YouTube channel. They are in a playlist. They are unlisted. I will not make them public. I've had a couple people ask about that. But I was working on this as originally a warm-up in one of my work streams on Twitch. I've been streaming a lot more on Twitch. I've been doing a lot more talky stuff there. Twitch seems to be a place where I'm finally getting back into the groove of things. I don't exactly have a work schedule right now, but I do shoot for the best to have my stream days not be the same as my art video days, just so it's, not too much on me, unless obviously I have to get work done or something. But yeah, so pretty much they're very sporadic, most likely on the weekends, but I'm also having it where they won't be on Wednesdays, just again, so it's a little easier for me. But we're going to be redesigning a character today, and it's really, really funny. So I was actually, when I was doing this, when I did the background, because the speed paint went up, earlier in the month, I remember being really excited with it, and I was like, oh, I've got all this backup footage, I'm great. So I was actually editing a topic video with this art in the background, and this is the first time, realistically, I think in a long time, where I was sitting here. By the way, hopefully the traffic in the background isn't too bad in post. I live in a city, and it's nice out, and I don't want to live in my stuffy apartment, so. The joys of living in the city and having your workspace in your living room. But anyway, I was editing my topic video, and I was loving it. I was writing my notes down, my little paper ASMR here. But you know what was happening? I wanted to talk about the art. I know. What? I don't do that on this channel. That makes no sense. But I was like, ooh, you know what? This could be an art topic, because I've been really struggling with art topics lately. I've got my groove back when it came to like topic videos, so I feel like I'm not so samey, and I'm not so like, I'm also in a kind of like wishy-washy place right now because of what's going on in the world. I know a lot of people are mentally, so it's one of those things where right now I'm trying to do stuff while getting my work done, obviously. Doing stuff to where I'm making myself happy as well as my clients happy, and, trying to just be overall better. So anyway, let's talk about the character. So you guys are going to notice throughout this that in the corner, I have a reference of Spoopy. This is my new character. Her name is Spoopy. Yes, it's spelled like the meme, Spoopy. But I got her a while ago. Ooh, I need to mute. I did not realize my Discord was up. Sorry. But anyway, so when I got Spoopy, I actually got her in a trade from my buddy Quan. Quan originally designed her, I believe, which is why there's also like a name above the little original thing. And oh, I loved this character when I got her. I thought she was great. I had drawn her once before, but I wasn't such a big fan when I redrew her. And Spoopy was getting to a place where I was like, I really like this design and this concept, but I feel like for me and my current aesthetic, it just doesn't work as well, sadly. So I was trying to figure out what's going on. And just so you know, also in advance, this was a stream edit, so if there are a couple of pauses or things here and there, I'm gonna try my best to edit them out, but I can't make many promises. Sorry. So when I was working with it, I loved the concept and the design, but there were just a couple key things I wanted to change. I kept her basic color palette. I did mute it a little bit because getting to that point in my art career, well, while I do love bright, vivid neon colors and contrasting stuff, I am slowly evolving my eye, and I think that happens to every artist. Just like how, this is going to be such a shocker, I don't use pure black lines anymore. Unless I, obviously am using a, very monochromatic piece, then I will, obviously. But I've been doing the darker color of the darkest color in the picture to make it look a little better, and I do think it makes it flow a lot better now. But another thing that I've been doing a lot lately is I've also been muting and tweaking some color palettes. I was listening to some advice and some critiques from a couple of my artist friends where they were talking about how, you can love something and something can have a great palette, but the saturation just isn't there for you anymore. Just tweak the saturation a little bit, tweak a couple things here and there. And I was like, yes. That's so true. And especially with like my own characters, I feel like I get to have more fun and experiment with it. So when it came to Spoopy, I decided that I'm going to get rid of her horns. I originally kept her horns the first time I drew her. And I didn't post it publicly. I think I just put it in a sketch dump on Patreon like a year ago. But I remember being like, okay, what am I going to do here? So I don't want her to have the horns. And I wasn't really a big fan of the cute bunny ears. I thought it was cute at the time, but wasn't a big fan. But I loved everything else. I loved her outfit. I loved her colors. I loved the idea. And when I was working on it, I was like, oh, this could be fun. I could use this to be like a little Cleo sort of thing. So Cleo is my mascot, and I will slap her on screen right now. She's my mascot that I'm slowly rebranding myself to. I'm also in a weird spot. I don't know if other artists get like this, but when we owe work, which I do, I very much do, we feel awkward when we do stuff for ourselves, such as like branding, borders, things like that. So I've been waiting to do it, and I'm getting to a point now where I'm really sick of my old branding of things like that. Then there was the whole icon issue back at the end of last year / early this year, which was a disaster, but it did help me move from my magic seal, which I still do love, and I still do love magic and everything. But the whole thing was I wasn't vibing with it anymore. The magic steel is still very important. It's still very much part of my brand, and it is very important to me personally. But that being said, I was talking to a friend, and my friend was explaining that when you want to do branding and you want to run a business, you should have a mascot or a placeholder character. Sort of like a persona or, a manifestation of things. But it should be more of you than something tied to a story. So currently, Spoopy and Cleo are not a part of any story. Who knows, that might change, but it won't be for a long, long time. And if I definitely do something, it's not going to be anything very serious. But I was like, oh, well, I made Cleo a little color-changing demon. What if I did the same thing for Spoopy? So I was originally going to name her Hope. I was talking about that in the live stream, that I was going to name her Hope because a joke was that Hopeless Peaches came in, and I was calling her Hope. And so when I was getting there, I was like, oh, you know what? Why don't I go with Spoopy instead? Because my brain just went to Spoopy. So another thing I did change with her design is I did change her teeth, her eye teeth. So what was happening with that was originally it was black, purple, and white. And I did like that, but I was getting a little with it. So I ended up, there's a point at one point in the speed paint when I'm working here that I end up like fiddling with the hue, and that's because I was in the stream trying to get like ideas, and I decided to go with the gray because she's already got this like pale pastel-y skin with the light purple blush, and so I'm like, I don't want to go with white, I don't want to go with straight black, let's go with a good gray so it still pops. And I am going to be working on a reference sheet for Cleo and Spoopy in the near future. I also have one for my D&D character that I'm kind of excited about. Let me know if you guys do want me to do a video on that. Oh, hello, police. We're screaming. I don't know if you can hear that, but there are sirens going on in the background. Cut it real quick. So I also decided, and this is something I've been doing more in my own work, is I've been adding little patterns and details to clothes that I've been making. I learned the trick from Logi. I'll boop them in the iCard so you guys can like see them. They don't do a lot of talking videos, but when they do, they're really fucking funny. I think they're hilarious. But talking about like doing patterns and things like that and things they like. And so when I was doing that, I was like, oh yeah, I want to incorporate this in my work too. So, because you get inspired by things and it makes you want to do things. And I've been wanting to do more detail, and I've been dealing with this struggle, and I'm sure a lot of cartoonists deal with this too, where I'm dealing with this struggle of I want to put a lot of details in my stuff, but I also want to keep it like detailed but simplistic, and that's a hard middle ground. It actually really is. It's a hard middle ground to try to find sometimes, and so even more so when you're working on things. But something I had in mind for Spoopy, back to talking. I know it is just a bust because, again, this wasn't intended to be anything very serious. It was just something that was supposed to be my thank you speed paint that got out of hand. I wanted to finish it in a live stream, and I just loved it. But there's a couple things I want to point out. I really want Spoopy to be very expressive because unlike Cleo, she doesn't have a mouth. Her, eyeball is her mouth. And I've had a couple people ask me on Twitter, like, well, how does she eat? And I'm like, well, she doesn't. She's a demon. She doesn't really need to eat. But I do want her to be very expressive with her eyes. So that's going to give me a lot of fun things to do when I do eventually get her sheet done. So I'm probably going to end up recording stuff for that and talking about that when I do that. But I'll probably have her and Cleo be together since they're going to be a part of my little mascot branding thing. I know my friend Bree / Pastel Monster does the similar thing with her, I want to call them her ice cream girls. I know they're like based off of foods, but her little monster ice cream girls that she has, her little branding things. So like that means that yes, in the future I will make Spoopy and Cleo merch, and I kind of want to get like one more. I want to get a boy, or at least make a boy. I say make a boy, I mean, technically, I guess Spoopy wouldn't have a gender, because another thing I want to do with Spoopy is I wanted to, well, I am using her pronoun, so I guess I am giving her a gender in that sense, so enjoy my thought process while I'm talking out this audio, but because she's a demon and she doesn't have a mouth, I wanted to have her be different from Cleo while still having that Cyclops theme, so whatever male, masculine character I do make to be the boy in the group, he's gonna have to be a Cyclops too. But I wanted, so, because Cleo is very feminine, very crass, very much, she is much more like me. I'm not going to flat out say she's a persona, because I have, like, I literally draw myself when I try to do that. But she is much more like me than, like, how Tetsu was being interpreted as, because Tetsu was never like me, and I've said this before, a couple things here and there, but a lot of people were drawing me fan art. I still love getting fan art of Tetsu, don't get me wrong, but they were putting my crass, bold personality, that's my phone, on her, and that was making me uncomfortable, because it was making me uncomfortable, because I'm like, they don't know. How are they supposed to know? Not everyone's going to watch the Mark Meg bios from 2 years ago. Not everybody's going to read the stuff on DA. That wasn't me bad, so that's another reason why I wanted to put my branding away. So if you put my personality and my crassness on Cleo, that's fine. But like, I was trying to say, Cleo's more feminine, more thing like that, and I because she's also got the color changing abilities with Cleo, I was thinking, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it so she can also be like a semi-shapeshifter, because, I mean, why the heck not? She's a demon. With Spoopy, though, I wanted to give her, you saw a little earlier, I wanted to give her a very thin, noodle-like neck, because, again, she's a demon, I get to have some fun stuff with body, and it's hard to tell on the bust, especially with all that hair, because I do have a weakness for big poofy hair. Oh, I do love doing hair. But I wanted her to be very expressive. I wanted her to, like, not have breasts. I'm on the fence on giving her curves, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I want to give her more elongated features. I'm still working on things, which I will do when I eventually get the references done. But I wanted her to be more of that cute, creepy that I love. Because, again, it's supposed to be, like, my aesthetic and my branding. It would make so much more sense if I made it be colorful but dark but creepy but cute, because that is kind of my like thing when I'm not doing commissions, and I'm trying to do more of that. Plus, with having these fun characters, I'm gonna be able to put them in more illustrations that aren't attached to stories and things like that, so I can just experiment and have fun with it. So there's my little art talks on the character and the process and the changing of this. I hope you guys enjoyed and had fun, and let me know if you want me to like do more of these, because like I said, I was kind of burnt out on art topics. Another thing too, if you guys have art topics that I haven't done or you would like me to redo, because I do have some older videos I would like to redo, please comment down below. I will look at them, I will write them in my notebook for my little paper ASMR here, and I guess I should get the little thing out of the way. Thank you, as always, to my Patreon patrons for supporting this video, especially in this hard time. Every bit you donate helps so much. And another thing is, I would like to thank everyone who does like, comment, and subscribe to help with the algorithm, because YouTube is dumb. All of my social media links are in my Linktree link down below. I currently don't have my Etsy up, but I do have my Redbubble up if you want to buy merch, shirts, prints, stuff like that. And if you want to follow me on my social medias, I'm very active on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, guys, I will. See you next time. Bye.